This changes everything for the New York Jets, as now there have been multiple reports after a massive trade today that there are more to come and that the New York Jets are heavily involved, and one of the big reasons why is Aaron Rodgers' existence. And if you look at Darren Mougey's face in this photo right here, you would see why. You would understand why he's making that face, and we're going to break it all down. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Jets Digest. It's Chris and Matt here, and we're going to jump right into things as always. Guys, if you're not subscribed to Jets Digest right now, subscribe, or else, I'll be honest, guys, Matt was telling me that if you guys are not subscribed in the next 3 seconds, he might fully disappear. Guys, he's gone. We lost Matt. So, that's all your guys' fault. Now Matt's gone forever. We won't see him ever again because of this reasoning. But to be serious, we do have a shocking New York Jets update. As well, the Jets, they found themselves in a very interesting situation where after that trade involving George Pickens did happen, we saw the New York Jets get involved because of it, and now we are seeing a whole lot more coming after that. George Pickens got dealt to none other than the Dallas Cowboys, and after that, what we saw was basically now the New York Jets get involved in a huge way. Now, it was revealed that Jets wide receiver, according to Pro Football Talk, Jets wide receiver Allen Lazard is in play to be traded to the Pittsburgh Steelers after they traded George Pickens to the Dallas Cowboys. And guys, this is such a big deal that Matt actually came back too. So here he is. He's back once again because, well, Allen Lazard, someone who no one expected to be on the trade block, Matt, or not even on the trade block. We could see that one coming, but someone that no one would be interested in on the trade block because the money he makes and having not the greatest season, where in 12 games he had 530 yards with 37 receptions, dropped a handful of passes, committed 7,000 committed 7,000 penalties. It was not a great season by Allen Lazard at all. So no one really expected the New York Jets people to get out of that Allen Lazard contract. However, now things are getting pretty interesting.
Chris, you know you're a bad wide receiver when your team has no wide receiver 2 or a wide receiver 3, and they still want to trade you. Allen Lazard, absolutely someone who does not need to be on the New York Jets for next season. I don't care what the money says. If we're paying this guy $500,000 or if we're paying him a veteran minimum, it's too much. I'm absolutely done with watching Allen Lazard drop passes. Allen Lazard put his palms up after getting caught with a clear holding penalty after a long, successful offensive play. The New York Jets don't put forward enough successful long offensive plays, and when they happen, it feels like 30% of them, Allen Lazard is bringing everyone back. It's like, oh, right here, guys. That's my bad. I don't want to hear my bad. I want things to improve. That's something that they never did under Robert Saleh, because Robert Saleh kind of had everyone's back. He said that's okay. We'll fix it next time. Well, there never was a next time. Now the next time includes a new head coach, someone who will not allow New York Jets players to make the same mistakes over and over again. Aaron Glenn, our new head coach, is going to be holding players accountable. If you make the same mistake over and over again, you're going to stop making that mistake because you're going to be on the sidelines. So can't wait to see, hopefully, if we can find a trade partner for Allen Lazard. The question is, with our wide receiver room that features absolutely nothing outside of Garrett Wilson, would you trade him with a 7th-round pick? Looking at it, I'm thinking, I don't know if he's worth that little, but at the same time, I'm thinking maybe we could throw a 7th-round pick into a trade that otherwise wouldn't get done, that you couldn't just throw Allen Lazard into. So the 7th-round pick is coveted by all other 31 teams where Allen Lazard isn't. So makes more sense there to send him away for a 7th-round pick in the interest of generating value for the franchise. I understand that's more of like a fantasy football thing, not a real-life football thing. From a real-life perspective, Allen Lazard probably will get traded. We would package a 7th-round pick with Allen to go get us a 5th or 6th-round pick. We just watched today George Pickens get traded for a very low return. So can't expect too much should Allen Lazard get traded, but I am waking up every single day. First thing I do, go to my Google Chrome search bar, look up NY Jets news. The day Allen Lazard is traded, that will be a good day.
Matt, I have a genuine question for you in regards to the New York Jets right now. How different in value to the Jets, not to other teams and trade value and all that, in value to this Jets team, how much of a difference is there between Allen Lazard and Josh Reynolds?
And Josh Reynolds?
Yeah.
Well, I would imagine, honestly, that's a pretty good question because they're probably about the same thing at this point. Allen Lazard is 29 years old. Josh Reynolds is 30 years old. So age-wise, you don't get anything different. I think Josh Reynolds better than Allen Lazard. So I think Josh Reynolds, you probably send him in a seventh, you'd get a fifth. Where Allen Lazard, his name is kind of tainted right now because he's coming off of back-to-back poor seasons. So I would expect Allen Lazard to be a little bit less worth stuff in trade value. But at the end of the day, you were asking like asset-wise, value-wise, how different are they? I would argue not different at all. Pretty much the same thing. They're a wide receiver 3-4 type of guy. They're taller players, like okay blockers. Allen Lazard does get penalties, but as far as wide receivers go, he's still a solid blocker. But we need players to catch the football. We need guys to block, but that's what we spent 3 first-round picks over the past 5 years on our offensive line for. Those guys are supposed to block. The wide receivers are supposed to catch passes from Allen Lazard, from whoever our quarterback's going to be. Right now, it's Justin Fields. So that's what we need to use our stuff, our trade capital, and our free agency dollars to go out and improve for this team.
Well, that's kind of why I asked you. And in more value, I more mean not to other teams. I imagine that honestly Josh Reynolds would have more value because his contract is small, so you don't have to take on Allen Lazard's money. What I was thinking was, as you said, you think Josh Reynolds is a tiny bit better.
Yeah, I think he's a tiny bit better. And I just want to say, if someone traded for Allen Lazard, I would expect either before or after the rework would get done. Because right now, no one's going to trade for Allen Lazard with his contract, obviously.
Yeah, of course.
So definitely should have said this. Should a Allen Lazard trade happen, there would be a contract rework by the new team, worked out with Allen Lazard before the trade, or worked out with the Jets and then traded.
Yeah, so that's the thing to me. Is that really, as you said, first of all, if you have no wide receiver 2 or 3 on your team and you're trying to trade Allen Lazard, that's a pretty bad sign as it is if you're Allen Lazard. But if Reynolds and Lazard are very similar players, there's no need for Allen Lazard to be on this Jets team. The only reason he's there is because Darren Mougey entered into a situation where he had Allen Lazard's contract handcuffed to his wrist. That's the only real reason why Lazard is on this team. So you think about it, obviously the Jets would be willing to part ways, but they would just put Josh Reynolds into Allen Lazard's position anyway, or situation you could call it anyway, because he's not really a wide receiver 2 at all, but at the same time, by default, he sort of is. So it does, and obviously Arian Smith's there. He has all the chance in the world to become the wide receiver 2 literally this season. So you notice that, you see everything, and you sort of think to yourself, okay, why not just go with Josh Reynolds if you're the Jets? You have no problem trading Lazard because you have Josh Reynolds. And also at the same time, I mean, we talked about this a few days ago. There are free agent wide receivers out there. There's the Keenan Allens, the Amari Coopers, the Tyler Boyds of the world. Are any of them guys who, at this stage in their career, are we gonna see that they sign like this is the greatest thing to happen in Jets history? No. Are they better than Allen Lazard? Probably, yeah. They probably all are better than Allen Lazard. So if the Jets see any world to move Lazard for anything, I mean, I'll be honest, I'd trade Allen Lazard and a 7th to the Steelers for their 7th. I understand the Steelers are probably going to be better than the Jets because they're the Steelers. They don't have losing records, and we're the Jets. We have losing records. To get rid of that contract is a win for the Jets, and yes, there would be a rework, and if Lazard was like, nope, not reworking with the Jets. I don't really want to be here very much because I'm not going to win anything. And teams are like, well, we're not taking that. We have to have him be into it. Sorry. Do you want to say something? Go ahead.
Well, no, I was going to say, if Allen Lazard didn't want to be on the Jets, he would rework the contract because then it would make him really easy to trade. Or
wouldn't he lose money though?
Like, yes, but he could also say cut me. So he'd get the guaranteed money. Fair. And then go. I mean, obviously, when you are, in this situation, it's not going the way he wanted it to go. That's for sure. Let's just leave it at that.
Yeah. So I think the Jets Not necessarily am I saying that Allen Lazard is someone they don't want on the team or is a personality they don't want. I'm not gonna say anything about Allen Lazard's personality or anything. But if the Jets have a guy in Reynolds who could just replace what Lazard does anyway, there's no glaring reason why the Jets would be thrilled to have Allen Lazard on the roster, unless he is a great teammate and he's a great personality. And if all that is the case about Lazard, then yeah, they'd probably like to have him. But as you said, if he keeps picking up holding penalties and just like, whoops, sorry guys, Aaron Glenn is going to blow a fuse. Like, this isn't, as you mentioned earlier, this isn't Robert Saleh. We'll get him next time, because next time is now Aaron Glenn's the head coach of the team, and Robert Saleh is not. So it becomes interesting. I have no personal animosity towards Allen Lazard. I would like to see him get traded because I truly believe Josh Reynolds can just do what Allen Lazard does anyway. Do I think the Jets receiving room is not good? Yeah, I don't. I think Garrett Wilson's great, and there really isn't anyone else with too much excitement outside of Arian Smith because he's a rookie. But I keep wanting to call him Arian Foster, which is so wrong. What are you laughing at?
What's that Eminem song where he's like, next time there won't be no next time?
Oh, the Love the Way You Lie?
Yeah, because I was thinking Robert Saleh was always like, you make a mistake, we'll get it next time. But Aaron Glenn, he'd be like, there won't be no next time. He's going to step up.
Next time there won't be no next time.
Put it down.
And it was lies. And you know what, Matt? I'm tired of the games. I just want wins back. And I know that Saleh's a liar. And if he ever tries to leave again, I'm not going to tie him to anything and set the house on fire because he already set the house on fire with the New York Jets. So it's fine. Bye, Saleh. And if Lazard has to go with him, it's okay. Also, I mean, Aaron Rodgers, if he plays anywhere, it's the Steelers. So it would make sense that Lazard ends up there anyway. Let's be real. Well, guys, what do you think about all this down below? As Matt just nods. Guys, like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Have a great day and go Jets.